with this understanding, then we need to ask, what is our path and what is our destination? If this is the framework for this jiva to go from one janma to another janma and so on, then the question is, what is the path and what is the destination? Where do we go? So let us spend a little time to understand that. So this is what I showed last time. Now it will make more sense. We will go over it once again. So let us take a janma. The janma begins. We brought a prarabdha karma, and we have to exhaust that prarabdha karma. We identified where this soul must find its parentage, so that the condition, it is so conducive for this whole prarabdha to be exhausted. This is the best possible ambience in which this prarabdha can be exhausted. The soul makes that choice. And in that choice, the soul actually, if you read Chandogya, you will find out how the soul makes the return journey. How it gets into the Surya Mandala, from there, how it gets into the Chandra Mandala, how it gets into the rain clouds, how the soul gets into rain, how it gets into food grains, how the father eats that food grains, gets the vitality, gets into the father through the grains, and gets into the father's reproductive system and gets into the mother. These are all explained. So there is a path it takes to come, but it chooses. It chooses it in such a way that the prarabdha, the bag of prarabdha that it brought, will be thoroughly exhausted in this janma. That's how the parentage is. So for us, the marriage and begetting children is not pleasure. Please understand, it is not pleasure. It is a possibility. Every parent must understand that I have given a great possibility for a soul to progress in its liberation. That's the meaning of marriage. That's the meaning of getting a children. I have provided a platform for a jiva to try once more. I have given one more ring to throw at the soap. That is the meaning. I have enabled it as a father and a mother. So it is a very holy act. It is not a very cheap act of sensory pleasure and all that. It's not that. It's a holy act of letting a soul progress in its journey. Anyway, so let us say the janma begins, and it comes with a guna and a karma. And how does it come? It comes from the vasanas. It comes from the accumulated karma. That's what here written here. That makes that value system. That makes what kind of a person this person is. So it brings its own sampat. It can be daivi sampat. It can be asuri sampat. It can be anything in between the two. And because of all these, it chooses a certain varna and a shraddha. It develops a certain faith. It develops, because it is a work in progress. It is in transition. So this is like a, it's a slider. So you are parking it. Every janma is parking the slider and seeing again moving like that. And with that, it gets into the world. That's what we are all doing. We get into the world, and we do a lot of perform in all kinds of activities that we are in. But the most important thing is we have a free will. We really have a free will to decide how to act. Now, how do we exercise it? Are we aware of this free will? Those are different questions. But we have been talking about it. Every human being is endowed with a free will. That's why if there is a situation, 1,000 people respond to it in 1,000 different ways, because they bring different samskaras. But a person who understands this whole framework will start cleaning his samskara through the free will. Free will is the only lever through which you will clean the samskara. That's what the Lord has given, and that He has left it with us. He is not keeping the control. He has left it with us. And that decides the trajectory of progress that we go through in this janma. Janma ends, right? And the accumulated experiences and all those which I talked about becomes vasanas and samskaras. That's why I left this picture last week. That's why a lot of people asked, what is this? So it left with that accumulated value system, preferences, experiences, they are all the DNA of all that is the vasanas and samskaras. With that, it comes again in. It modifies the guna and karma, because the slowly we also learn. Everybody learns. Nobody can stop from learning. At best, you can learn slowly. That's all is possible. But we will learn. So because of that, the free will is the lever through which we keep on changing this. And so the guna and karma also slowly morphs. And so you see people at different stages of evolution. Because they are all, it's like a walkathon in which there are 1,000 tracks and each one of us are walking and we are at different stages of this walkathon. It's a mega marathon walkathon of infinite distance. Imagine like that. Now, this is all told so beautifully. So the free will that we are talking about, see how beautifully Krishna says it in chapter 5 of Bhagavad Gita. Look at these two shlokas. Na kartrutvam na karmani lokasya srijati prabhu na karma pala sanyogam. See, he says lokasya, for the people in this world, right? Na kartrutvam, the agency to do action. Na karmani, the action itself, and the karma pala, and what comes out of it. He says, I am not in the picture. Na srijati prabhu. He says the Lord is not creating any of this. The Lord is nowhere in the picture. Swabhavastu pravartate. You created it. You as you sow, you will reap. That's why Vivekananda said, why is this child born like this? Why is this child mentally retarded? He said, it is not God's problem. The child is eating, consuming its own karmas. It has taken a prarabdha which required it to be a mentally retarded and taken birth now. Because that is the best way it can exhaust some of the prarabdhas that it has brought in a bag. So, na kartrutvam na karmani lokasya srijati prabhu na karma pala sanyogam. This connecting this karma and karma pala, he says, I am not anywhere in the picture. I am only a silent account keeper. I will make sure your account will never be fudged. I will make sure your account is written and kept properly. I will be faithful in that. That's all is the Lord's job. And he does it through what is called Kala. And people also use words like Chitragupta and all that. All these are ideas, but these are all, you have to understand the sukshma of all these. Then he says, Nadatte kasya chit papam. He is more explicit now. Nadatte kasya chit papam nachaiva sukritam vibhu. He says, I am not responsible for papa or sukrit. I am not in the picture. Because you only did it. Did I ask you to do X or Y? No. I gave you free will. Moment I gave you the free will, it's up to you. I have moved out. I am only keeping accounts. So, nadatte kasya chit papam nachaiva sukritam vibhu ajnanena avritam jnanam. So, you are deluded. You have not understood this concept. You are just playing. See, when we play a video game, even in a small video game, 5-level video game, what happens is initially you will be just, foolishly playing. But by foolishly playing for a while, we'll slowly get to know the rules of the game. Oh, this is what is happening. If you touch this, this happens. If you touch this, it happens. And then you develop. So in the same way, our journey is like that. That is why we need a lot of janmas. Our journey is like that we hit and try. But if the grace of the Lord is there, we get to know all these ideas properly. That's why a guru comes, somebody comes, a satsanga like this happens. We are all actually blessed. We have covered a lot of ground. That's why we are sitting together like this. Otherwise, there are 1 million things to do on a Saturday evening. You can watch a movie, you can play games, you can do so many things. Why are we actually sitting here for 12 weeks? Because the grace of the Lord has befallen on us already. And slowly we are trying to get to know this game of life that is going on. So Krishna says, I am not at all responsible for any of these. So let us put this free will and understand what can this free will do. That's a question now. So we start the Janma, we do so many actions. Now the question is, how does the free will play out? And it's all your own choice, right? One possibility is the free will, you exercise your free will with the vasana or a samskara, which pushes you into deeply getting attached to result. These are all coming from Gita. These are all the lesson from Gita. So if you are deeply attached to results and you engage in something, it is called karma, or I will call it as boga or roga. I use the word boga or roga. These are all not karma, they are roga. You become rogi actually. We get diseased one way or the other because we are deeply attached to the results. So because of karma, moment the deep desire comes, the shad ripu will come, the 6 sins. Kama, krodha, lobha, moga, mada, matsarya. These are the 6 enemies, shad ripus. Kama and krodha, mada and matsarya, jealous and inebriation, kama and krodha, anger and desire, right? Mada and matsarya, lobha and moha, delusion and misery and so on. All these come. That all these accumulate into vasanas. So if the free will is driving us towards this branch, then we are into building vasanas, which means our agami karma is going to get added up janma after janma. That is what it means. And so, we will go through this endless chakra. Now, we are not going to go through this endless chakra because just I told you, as this video game, as we start playing, we start slowly understanding which button I should press at what time to shoot something or catch something. In the same way, when we go through these several janmas, slowly, somewhere the vasanas are also building this logic. Slowly it begins coming into us. That's why it's only a path of progress unless our vasanas are so bad. I mean, even if you fall badly, in a snake and ladder game, any number of times you come through the longest snake from a number 99 to 9, it still does not preclude the possibility of you reaching 100 and then winning the game. It may take more time. Same thing, snake and ladder is the best way to understand this. Suppose I slowly understand this, and the only difference in snake and game is, it is not in your hands. You throw a die actually. I mean, so in that sense, there is a sense of, helplessness. But here there is this, the free will means you can throw a die and get 2 if you want. That's the meaning of this free will. So moment you start using the free will more wisely, then we start engaging in the world of action with a sense of duty and purpose, not with what is in it for me. That is called yoga. If you do it with what is in it for me, it is called boga or roga. The other side, you can call it as boga or roga. Now, once we start traveling in this path, nishkamya karma, naishkamya karma, the karma without really desire, this has to be done, I can do it, I am supposed to do it, let me do it. If we get into that way of slowly organizing our life, then the vasanas will slowly sort of evaporate. Because, the deep impressions are not, you become a little aloof. So the deep impressions are not going to happen. So the exhaustion of vasana will happen. So, what can happen is, suppose I put a decision box there. Is the vasanas exhausted? No. If the vasanas are not exhausted, I have to go through the janma again and again. In other words, the vasana is the proxy for the karma tank, that gunny sack of karma which I talked about. And if you say one day if the vasana got exhausted, what does that mean? That means we will turn fully into jnana vichara. That's when we are inspired by this knowledge of who am I, why is all this happening, and that overpowers us, and we do jnana vichara, which leads us to mukti. This is what our texts, our granthas are explaining it. This I took it from Bhagavad Gita and put it in a way we can understand. But this is how the whole journey of progress has to happen. Now the question is, what is our final destination? Again, let us go to Gita. Look at this. कर्मजं भुक्ति युक्ता हि फलं त्यक्त्वा मनीषिणः जन्म बंध विनिर्मुक्ताः पदं गच्छन्ति अनामयं पदं गच्छन्ति. They will reach that ultimate stage, position that we need to reach. They will reach when janma bandha vinirmuktaha. You should be released from bandha and janma. And how can you release yourself from janma and bandha? That is told in the first line. Karmajam buddhi yuktahi, by the action that you do, by a proper choice of your free will, by the action that you develop that yoga buddhi. Phalam tyaktva manishinah. That's why I call that branch as yoga. That is the yoga buddhi. To develop that yoga buddhi, then these bandha and janma, slowly it will recede from you, and a time will come, padam gachanti anamayam. So we will reach that stage of final liberation. Ishavasya Upanishad, you can look at everywhere. He says, vidyam cha avidyam cha yastadvedo bahagam saha avidyaya mrityum tirtva vidyaya amritam ashnute. So all this knowledge of how to do things right without yoga and all that, they are all still avidya. Ishavasya Upanishad says all these are avidya. Why? Because they can help you cross the ocean of birth and death. So that is step one. It is like a hop, step and jump. So it is hop, step. In other words, it is a necessary condition. The final condition, sufficient condition, is jnana, vichara and mukti. That is called vidya. So vidya is not available. Vidya that we use here in Ishavasya Upanishad is not the vidya we use in common parlance. There vidya means any knowledge. Here vidya means a knowledge which is accumulating inside you through your anubhuti, not through books, not through Veda, not through Upanishads. In fact, all those are, avidya. In fact, in Mundaka Upanishad, apara vidya and para vidya, somebody asked a question on that. Apara vidya and para vidya is avidya, is what Shankaracharya says. In other words, all those are stage one of our evolution that will help us cross the samsara of birth and death. But it is vidya, which is this introspection and understanding who am I, gives us the final liberation, which is our destination. So what are some of the facilitating ideas for this journey? If this is the journey, if this is the logic, I showed you through first I showed you through introducing a concept. Then I showed you graphically. I had a trolley and a bag and a beaker. Then I used flowchart logic, because different things appeal to different people. So I am trying different ways to get across to you the importance of karma theory. So I think this is central. That's why I'm saying this is central to Sanatana Dharma. This is central to Punarjanma. You need to take this wholesome. It will clean up our life. We all need to take this. We should develop Shraddha and believe in it, because this is what our Shruti is saying. That is a Parama Pramana for us. Ishavasya Upanishad, just now I showed you, which is part of Shruti. This is Parama Pramana for us. We need to develop a great Shraddha in the existence of this. Then so many things will happen. First of all, there is a lot of tension that we are going through. All that tension is because we think there is only one Janma. Implicitly we are thinking like that. First we will, if you buy this idea, and if you deeply contemplate on it, your thinking process will beautifully slow down. There is no hurry for anything. So the death will no longer becomes a vishaya for fear. Death will become a knowledge of the awareness of mortality of physical things. It will open a highway of thinking for us. Therefore, This is very important. This is very central to Sanatana Dharma. So what are some of the facilitating ideas for this journey? As I told you, the first thing is strong belief in punarjanma, samskaraha, vasanaha. This triad is very important. If you start believing in it, the first thing that will happen is there is absolutely no hurry to attain things now and here. Nothing will happen. Don't worry. The Lord is going to give us enough of opportunities. This is a fair system. It is not a one try, one attempt and then get lost. No. So there is no hurry. Therefore, if you agree to that point, then how we lead a particular janma is far more important than what we achieved. In other words, our focus is on agami karma, not on prarabdha karma. Our focus is how do I plug the agami karma, because if I plug the agami karma, in successive janmas, the beaker level will come down. Obviously, the beaker level will come down. So how do you plug the agami karma is very important. So how we lead a life is more important than what we achieved. In Western parlance, it is reversed. What we achieved, we are all to, achieve all the time this and that. That is put at the front. In our system, it is not. How you lead a life is very important, and it will give you what needs to be achieved, and beautifully you can achieve it and go. This rat race and these unnecessary tensions which we are all acquired so beautifully in the last 50 years, Corona has come and told us, wait, sit back and think, who are you? Corona is a great sign of the Lord. It is asking us to sit back and say, what is going on? Please think. Take a little time and ask, who are you? Where did you come from and where are you going? I think that is what Corona is actually asking us to do. So, karma kshaya, vasana kshaya, those are the real goals of life. The goals of life is not to become a CEO. All those are subordinate goals. I mean, you do that. Don't do it at the expense of this. You do it, without vitiating this. That's very important. Karma kshaya and vasana kshaya are the real goals in life. So anytime, so if you ask, sir, so far I have not found it, have a loss? Nothing. Krishna says, look at this is chapter 6, such a beautiful shloka. Partha na naiveha naiva iha na amutra vinashaha tasya vidyate nahi kalyana krit kaschit durgatim tata gacchati. Kalyana krit, if you did some good things in any life, hey tata, my dear son, durgatim na gacchati, it will never go in vain, don't worry. So what you did will not get lost either here or in some other place. He gives that stamp, he gives assurance. See, Lord Krishna gives us assurance. Don't worry, do good things. It will all come back with you. That's why Manusmriti said, only those things will come with you. So he says, Partha naivaiha na amutra vinashaha tasya vidyate. That will never get vinasha. It will never get destroyed. Good or acts of good things will come along with us. So this is what he says. So these are very, very important things for us. So with these few words, these two topics are very important. This whole thing is very important because it is Parama Pramana. Karma is central to Sanatana Dharma. Punarjanma is central to Sanatana Dharma. It is a fair game. It is a logical game. It is something which explains a lot of seemingly difficult things to explain, whether it is a mentally retarded boy, whether it is a poor child. So many beggars are on the road. Can you infer what is happening from there? So many beggars who are on the road are those who unscrupulously amazed wealth in their previous janma. So the rule needs that they should suffer for food in the next janma. You see so many dogs which are all, full of street dogs with a lot of disease and full of filthy disease. These are all people in the previous janma, they have done something. So many things must happen not out of accident. If life happens by throw of a die or a Russian, turning of a Russian roulette, I think it is a very uninteresting thing to do. Therefore, that's not what it is. This is a grand concept. I want all of you to think through it very deeply. I mean, you don't have to buy all that I say. You make your choice. You contemplate. You look around. You make sense of your life experiences. Look people, people around. Become a little wiser. Don't get into why did it happen to me? Why can't this happen to me? It is a useless idea, because prarabdha karma is an arrow which has been already left out of the bow. You leave it. You develop Shraddha and Bhakti and say, oh Lord, give me the strength to take all that I have to go through in this Janma, because I know they have all already started. I have no control on it. I think that's very important. Therefore, with this, let me close today's class with Shanti Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.